To start with, the revenue performance of the year. The Gambia Revenue Authority has shown a commendable revenue performance against its set target in 2025, achieving a notable improvement in revenue collection. This has been driven by enhanced compliance, efforts, and targeted tax reforms. Despite the external economic challenges, GRA managed to achieve its annual revenue target. The authority collected over 25.3 billion for last year, 2025. This performance represents a nominal growth of 21% when you compare the last year's revenue performance. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this year, GRA most significant achievements are as follows. First, the achievement of the annual revenue target. The successful implementation of the ongoing tax administration reforms and improved compliance strategies, which include the following: increased outreach and educational programs aimed at taxpayers. These efforts have resulted in a more transparent tax environment and stabilized the revenue streams. B, signing of the contract for the implementation of the electronic invoicing for VAT and other taxes. C, signing of the contract to implement the iTax. D, signing of regulation for revenue assurance for mobile network operations. And the launching of the first phase of the rental compliance system in October 2025. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, inasmuch as we are doing all these things, we have faced some challenges during the course of the year. GRA's challenges remain making the tax systems equitable, inclusive, improving the compliances across all taxpayers categories, and completing the digital transformations drive. Over the years, the authorities learned invaluable lessons in flexibility and the need for adaptive strategies to increase revenue without overburdening the taxpayers, emphasizing the importance of ongoing stakeholders dialogue. Revenue collection and economic impact. The sector's contribution. This year, sectors such as the telecommunication, banking and financial services, trade, and petroleum contributed most significantly to national revenue. The positive performance in the telecommunication was driven by the increased usage of the digital services. Banking and finance services was also driven by increased financial inclusion with the increase of the fintechs. The increased contributions from the petroleum taxes is being triggered by the increase in import volumes, reductions of fuel subsidies, and the introduction of fuel marking. While trade growth can be attributed to improved import and export processes driven by the Asikuda Wall. I believe you all know about the Asikuda Wall. That's the platform that is being used by the international trade. Once you import something, you have to write on the Asikuda Wall to be able to do your declaration. And that system has been very helpful to us over the years since it's coming in 2022. The e-tracking of transit goods was also very helpful for us. The e-tracking, as some of you already know, these are the trackers that we use for all our transits that are going out of the country, including dry cargoes from the ports as well as the petroleum product. And equally, the goods that are coming from other countries like Senegal into the Gambia. So all of them are subject to have e-tracking, and it has eliminated the human following of the escort of these goods going either out or into the country. So the e-tracking has been with us for some time now, and we have seen the important role the e-tracking has been doing in terms of escort of the transits. Digital wave bridge. The digital wave bridge also contributes significantly towards our revenue If you remember about a year ago or so, we have this digital weighing bridge at the seaport, mainly for bulk cargos, that is rice, flour, sugar, and cement, etc. These are goods that normally their duties are charged based on the weight, and therefore when they arrive in the country, in addition to what they declare on the manifest, GRA will always want to verify and to know exactly what the cargo is, the cargo that has come. And then the weight bridge help us greatly to know that weight, and so that duties can be paid based on the weight that is on the cargo. Digital drive-through scanner. You all know about the this scanner that is at the port, and that is very useful. And nowadays, if you have your correct invoices and you do your declaration, you do your assessment, you can pay your duties directly and then go to the port, collect your goods, and then it goes through the scanner without talking to anybody. So this is something that we think that it's very good for the country. And if anyone has goods within 24 hours, if all your documents are correct, you can clear your goods through the help of the scanner that is at the port. So we are very happy that we have state-of-the-art scanner at the seaport. And once your documents are correct, no, you don't talk to anybody. Your agents will just do your declaration, and then you go to the port and collect your goods. In addition to all these things, we have the single window platform, which is very helpful too. Now you can have all your manifest declarations. They can all go through the single window, as well as the shipping agency, the ports authorities, the GRA, and other agencies or stakeholders can all use the platform to do whatever they want to do as far as the international trade transactions are concerned. So it's very, very effective. The single window is also a very effective when we brought it in place. Alongside the single window, you have the weight bridge as well, and then you have the e-trackings and all the others that are associated with the single window platform. So we are very grateful to have a system like a single window. All of these things I mentioned have contributed positively towards the revenue that we have mentioned. That's the 25.3, over 25.3 billion that we are able to collect for the year 2025. And then we have also a contributing factor is the digital excise tax stamp, among other transformative reforms we introduced. I think you can all remember the digital tax stamps when we do introduce it. Is it in 2024 or later 2024? That's the tax stamp that is on all this water, and then canned drinks, and flour, and all the alcohols that comes, and other products that are excisable. So this, prior to the bringing of the digital tax stamps, there was a lot of smuggled goods that we have found in town. And it was very difficult for GRA officers to identify which goods pay duty and which ones don't pay duty. So, and also equally, the production, the factories that are producing in the country, they are supposed to pay what we call excise tax based on their production. And it was very difficult for us to know the quantity, because their payments are based on the quantity. And if someone is alone in his factory, he does his own production, and he does his own self-assessment. So we only take them on the face value of what they present to us. But over time, we realized that things are not as we expected. And that is why we brought in the excise tax stamp. And the excise tax stamp has helped us to eliminate the smuggling, and as well as the under-declaration that has been happening in the factories that we have around. So today, because of the presence of the digital tax stamps, people are declaring as they produce. So it has eliminated the under-declaration. Today, because of the digital tax stamp, the smuggled goods that were coming into the country have been eliminated, because all of you here, including those that are not here, any one of you who goes to a shop or a supermarket, the first thing you look at is the digital tax stamp of GRA. If you don't see that in the excisable good, you know that those particular goods have been smuggled. It means that they came here without GRA. And because of the fact that everybody is aware, that's why I wanted Mati to come here, because she and her team has played a pivotal role in public education about some of these reforms. And then it happens that the whole Gambia is now, you know, we can see all of us as tax collectors because everybody is protective of this. Now, when people go to the shops, if they see a bottle, either canned drink or drinking water without necessarily, without the tax stamp, they will always ask, what about this? And the shopkeepers, based on the information I get, the shopkeepers are now resisting to buy from suppliers any bottle, either canned drink, alcohol, or water that does not have the GRA tax stamps, because they don't want to have trouble with GRA. So definitely the enforcement is perfect. The whole country has accepted it, although at the beginning it was tough, which is normal, you know, whenever we bring new reforms, it's always tough before people understand. But for us at the GRA, we believe whatever we brought in here, as far as the tax reforms are concerned, as far as the digital platform is concerned, we know it's good for the country. So we will have resistance for a period of time, but after that, you know, it's over, maybe 2 months, 3 months. Now today, this is a darling. If you want to take it out here, I think you people will come back and say, no, don't do that, because you have seen the positive effect that it has brought in. And above all, the increased revenue that we are realizing from the digital tax stamp. So you say thank to our partners, as well as we thank you for the cooperation. Now we move into the Revenue Mobilization Balancing Act. Here at GRA, we try to balance revenue mobilization by protecting businesses and citizens through the introduction of digital platforms, mean to ease the compliance burden on taxpayers. All the digital platforms, all the digital reforms, initiatives being implemented by GRA are aimed at promoting compliance and have been designed not to overburden the taxpayers, but allow easy for the taxpayers. GRA have decided on, and at the same time, making taxpayer services accessible to our taxpayer intelligence and to improve our compliances. As a revenue collecting institution, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, GRA is always under pressure, month in, month out, year after year, to meet or surpass our monthly and yearly revenue target. And this is quite challenging. This is our daily work. On a daily basis, we are under constant stress and challenges. The 2025 is gone, December, we started. That is our way of life. Everybody here has a specialty. You all have your careers. We at the level of GRA, our career is revenue collection. This is where we are, what we see ourselves. But to tell you the truth, it's not a child's play. You know, it's day in, day out. To tell you that 2025 was challenging, but we had a very good revenue collection. As I mentioned earlier on, your principals want to give you more. So 2026, that we have another target that is almost 27.5 billion. So if you compare that with our original target of 23 billion, it's like we have we have over 4.5 billion in addition to what we should collect, and that would give us a collection of 27.5 billion. So as I said, it's not easy. Year in, year out, we have to be doing it month in, month out. And that 27.5 billion, we will now break that into 12 months. So technically, you are talking about over 2-point-something billion on monthly basis, barely 2.2 to 2.3 billion. So this is not a child's play. It's very challenging, but do it. Maybe let me make this clear. The 27.75 billion, which has been given to GRA as a target for 2026, is not an imposed target. It is calculated. We have gone through screening, and we discussed, GRA has discussed with Minister of Finance. We have to collect that for the year. And now we are ready to face that challenge. And we hope that all of you will be on board to help us to make sure that we call you next year again around this time to tell you or to announce what work have been done over the last year. And we hope and pray that we will make it. No worries at all. Sure. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Revenue Authority all over the world have embraced the use of technology to enhance revenue collection and to make paying taxes easy to taxpayers. GRA, like I said earlier, have decided not to be left behind. And that is why over the past 5 years, we have introduced a number of digital platforms to bring efficiency in our revenue collection and at the same time make taxpayer service accessible to our taxpayers through digital platform. We are looking forward to embracing and harnessing data analytics and artificial intelligence to improve our work. Looking forward, there are both ongoing and planned reforms that target domestic tax administration. This includes, we are looking forward now for 2026, and in this particular year, we are looking forward for new reforms. For example, the rental income compliance system, which we have already discussed with you. We have already covered the Banjul and KMC, the rental income compliance system, which has the street views of the whole of Banjul and KMC. Now, what we are working on is the West Coast region. We want to take the street views of everything and get the data of all the properties in the West Coast and create a platform so that we will be able to have access to each one of you at any given time the need arises. So that those of you who are not paying your taxes, it's better you come forward and then start paying your rental income taxes. Otherwise, GRA will definitely come for you one day. And in addition to the rental tax compliance, we also have the iTax, Integrated Tax Administration System, which also the system is already, we've signed the contract and already the development has started. We're praying that in 2026, we'll see that one also up and running. We also have the implementation of the iTax, which I've just said, most particularly the digitalization of the authority introduced. This iTax system that we have signed already, we believe that when we have the iTax system in place, it will just be like the Asikuda system. As I have explained earlier on to you, the Asikuda system that you have, that you can run through quickly, within 24 hours, you can have your container from the port without talking to anybody within GRA. So likewise, when we have the iTax system also, you, the business community or their agents will be able to do the registration on their own. Their businesses, they will register using the platform without talking to anybody. The business community will be able to do their filing. Unlike now, they are coming to us when they are doing that filing, and then you have that human, interaction. We want to avoid that, and then the system will create a platform for them where they will be able to do their filing without talking to anybody. And once you file, when it comes to payment, either monthly, quarterly, or yearly final payments, you will be able to instruct your bank to do the payment on your behalf without coming to GRA for any direction or any advice. And equally, those of you who also do claim for their reforms, now when we have the iTax in place, there will be nothing like coming to GRA with all the papers that you are. We really want to go paperless. That is our aim. Gradually, we will get there. Like the French will say, c'est le petit et petit, le loinson fait son nid. For those of you who can speak French. And those who cannot speak French, those of you who cannot speak French, it means that it is slowly, or step by step, the birds in the air put up their nest. If you see a bird put a house nest, it is not one day, it is not 1 week, it is not one month. It can take months. They will go and pick a stick, put it there, bring one stick somewhere, bring. So it takes a while. So GRA is following the same full step. It will take a while, but we will get there. We know where we are going, and we will certainly get there. And that's why we bring in this platform, digital platforms on a gradual basis, step by step. If you see all I have mentioned before, and the ones that I have not mentioned, they are coming on a gradual basis. And because of these reforms, this is why we are able to get this revenue that we are getting. Because the reforms are here to block the leakages or the loopholes that are within the system. The manual, when you do works manually, there's a lot of things that are lacking, and a lot of leakages happen. But if you go on digital, all those loopholes are blocked, and then it translates to transparency and accountability. And above all, efficiency in the system, and then you have more revenue, as we are witnessing today. Impact of digitalization drive. The impact of digitalization drive on compliance has been positively marked by increased revenue collection, which I have just mentioned. Increased transparency and reduced revenue leakages. These modernization efforts have also allowed GRA to better track transactions, monitor productions, or importation of accessible goods, fuel products, leading to enhanced accountability and compliance among other taxpayers. We go back to the regional cooperation. As you know, GRA has affiliation with a lot of other partners outside and inside. So regional cooperation has played a crucial role in improving GRA administration. We participate actively in regional initiatives, and that enhances collaboration among neighboring countries. This has supported collective efforts to combat smuggling and streamline procedures. Along this line, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, GRA has signed MOU with bilateral customs administrations of Senegal and Guinea-Bissau, meant to enhance regional trade. In addition, the authority plays active roles in regional bodies like ECOWAS, World Customs Organization, as well as World Customs Organization, West and Central Africa, tax administrations, forums, WATAF, among others, regional bodies that we have. One of the reasons why we signed the MOU with Senegal, and we have bilateral meetings with Senegal on an annual basis. Either we go there, the following year they come here. We have a very good reasons, and the reason is simple to understand. Gambia is a country that is completely surrounded by Senegal. So as far as GRA is concerned, we make sure that we have a very good relationship with our partners there. This is why we signed the MOU. And this is why we have an annual meeting with Senegal. Every other year, Senegalese will come over here, and then the following year we go there, just to solidify and concretize the MOUs that are between us. And within those MOUs, what we want, as far as trade is concerned, we stipulated it all there. And they also will tell us what they want. And these are paying dividends, because we have seen that whilst trade is going on, sometimes there are obstacles here and there. But with these bilateral MOU meetings that we do and the MOUs, it is most of the time those problems that comes at the border. And we promise that we will continue doing that kind of a bilateral meeting, and we'll also making sure that the MOUs are refreshed, and then additional items will be added, and also where there is a need, we take things that are not necessary. And we believe that Senegal is our sister country, and it takes anything it takes for us to have that constant meeting, consultations. We will continue doing that. Aside from the signing of the MOU, we have also leveraged on international cooperation to understudy and benchmark other revenue administration and send some of our staff for attachment. We have an MOU with Zambia Revenue Authority, and we have been able to send our staffs to Zambia to benchmark our systems and processes with those of Zambia, with a view to improve ours. We have also done with Uganda Revenue Authority and the Rwanda Revenue Authority. We realize that we cannot be an island when it comes to this business